And essentially, you know what I'm saying, I came up with the conclusion. I said, you know what, I want to talk about something that I did that I was kind of nervous about initially when we were doing it, you know what I'm saying? But I said I want to talk about it either way, you know what I'm saying? So this sort of kind of happened. I was at work, you know what I'm saying? I worked at a finance company, you know what I'm saying? I was chilling at work. I got a text from Daryl X. He was talking about, some things that happened to him at the gas station. He had called me, said he had some situations that occurred with him and his wife. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, being in the movement or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Typically, we respond to things rather quickly, or we have before, at least at that particular time, kind of moves sort of quickly. You know what I'm saying? At the time, and he was like, "Man, I really wanna move on this situation." You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really know all the detail, but I was, what I'm saying, I was willing to kind of hear him out. So me and him was texting a little bit back and forth, talking about what happened at the gas station or whatnot. Make a long story short, so I'm thinking, talking to him throughout the day. Y'all know how people do when they say they gonna do something, and end up they not doing it. They don't do it at all. And it was like one of those situations where I didn't think that nobody was really gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? That basically, it was just something that he probably was emotional about, an emotional situation that was really gonna fizzle out by the end of the day. But that shit didn't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? He was still on it. So I didn't know at the time when he talked to me, he was also talking to a couple of other people as well that was kind of close to us. You know what I'm saying? Just keep in mind as well, you know what I'm saying, if you're watching this video, just like, share, and subscribe to the video, you know what I'm saying, and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Street reporter Yafeuh Balogun, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. But anyhow, so I was thinking it was just gonna be something that was gonna fizzle out, something that, wasn't nobody gonna say nothing. So when I get home, you know what I'm saying, I look at, you know what I'm saying, I see my phone ringing, and keep in mind this like July 1st, 2016, and I see my phone ringing. All of a sudden, I see that this is Daryl. He calling again, and he like, say, man, can you man, let's meet up. What he was saying, he said, let's meet up at Glendale Park. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I was thinking to myself, really didn't want to do it. I was with me and Kamal, just so happened to be together. Kamal Ozane, you know what I'm saying? We just so happened to be together. We was at my house, more or less kind of chilling a little bit. Just what me and Kamal used to get together all the time and just kind of chill out, hang out for a minute. He just so happened to be with me. You know what I'm saying? We was actually we actually rode in Kamal's car, you know what I'm saying? His secondary car, not his primary car, rode in his secondary car. And Kamal was like, man, he Kamal really didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? He really didn't want to because he didn't really want to take his time to really do it. You know what I'm saying? Or at least go investigate. Really, you know what I'm saying? I was really kind of reeling Kamal in that situation. You know what I mean? But anyway, got that text from Daryl. Went ahead and got in the car with Kamal. Me and Kamal kind of talking about it back and forth, like what gonna happen and what to expect and all that kind of stuff. And but anyway, so we meet at Glendale Park. We get to Glendale Park. We see him. It's Kamal, Durr, Lashadian, Eric Randall. Eric Randall created an organization called BARC. You know what I'm saying? Blacks Against Racist Cops. I think that's the name of it. He out of Colorado anyway. He was there. You know what I'm saying? So Eric Randall was there. Just him by himself, wasn't his kids though. It was just Eric Randall, L.A. You know what I'm saying? Lashadian, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, Lashadian won city council in McKinney, and that was crazy in itself. I think all the actions he did with us that was going to be impossible. But I remember when he did, on the side note, when he did an interview with BBC, he told BBC, I'm running for city council. And he ran for city council in McKinney. He won straight up. But anyway, it was all of us there at Glendale Park. This had to be about 5 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? 5 o'clock, in the middle of the summer. So y'all know how it be at 5 o'clock in the middle of summer. It still be hot. We meet in this circle. Even Dominic Alexander was there too. He kind of pulled up, you know what I'm saying, kind of chime in on it. Again, this is from, I didn't realize Daryl had got in contact with all these people. Even Lily was there. She was driving too. She just wasn't with us. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't realize Daryl had contacted all us, and we all actually came together. You know what I'm saying? And in the back of probably everybody's mind was like, well, what the hell we finna, what's finna go down? You know what I'm saying? We was thinking that. Because usually when we put things together, usually in my part of it, usually I'm really like real strategic about certain things. So I put a lot of attention to a lot of strategies as it relates to the politics of it. So I've been more of a strategizer. So it's been very little, very few times I actually kind of just put something together in like a 10 to 15 minute conversation, and we just be on the go. You know what I'm saying? Just based off of that the strength of that particular situation. So we all there. You know what I'm saying? We all me, Daryl, and everybody I just mentioned, primarily uh, me, Daryl, Kamal, Eric Randall, etc. Lashadian, Shemwell, you know what I'm saying? We all jumping out individual cars. Again, I'm riding with Kamal. Me and Kamal, we riding over to the gas station on Illinois. It's on Illinois. What street is that? Illinois. Yeah, like Illinois 45. It's one of them gas stations. It's the link is actually I actually put the link to the story in the YouTube. So you can go down there and look at the link, you know what I'm saying? I kind of explain that situation too. But anyhow, so we riding over there, you know what I'm saying? I really didn't want to do it too much, you know what I'm saying? We kind of going back and forth on that. But anyway, Kamal do it, you know what I'm saying? And we all armed. I had a shotgun, like a Mossberg. Kamal had a Mossberg. Daryl had his shotgun, and Lashadian had a rifle, and Eric Rounder had a rifle. Lily, she just parked in the car. You know what I'm saying? She stayed off to the side of the parking lot. And we didn't see Dominic Alexander. I didn't know what the hell happened to Dominic Alexander. But the moment we left the park, I didn't see him no more in none of the situation. I don't think any of us saw Dominic Alexander, and we didn't even. And at the time when all this was going on, we ain't even weren't even thinking about it. But it was like, man, what, after the fact, after we kind of got settled once this hour was over, we was like, man, where he at? Where'd he go? You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't see him. We all set out, said we finna go to this gas station on East Overton Road. That's where it's at, Illinois and Overton. We said we finna hit this gas station on East Overton Road, and we all gonna link up. We get there, we get out. You know what I'm saying? It's basically us four. Again, Eric Randall, myself, Daryl, Kamalo Zane, and Lashadian. So we walk into the gas station. We didn't really discuss how we was gonna go to the gas station, per se. Like as far as what was gonna happen when we got there. I think it's just more of a natural inclination that basically happened. Uh, we got up there, walked towards it. You know, we had was armed, and the people saw us coming, and a couple people shocked when they saw us coming. Keep in mind, this is kind of like the beginning of the black open carry experience. So we got a lot of open carry guys, you know what I'm saying? This is more or less like the beginning, like the very beginning, like this public thing, you know what I'm saying? So we get to the gas station. Lashadian opens the door. It was never my plan to open the door. You know what I'm saying? I was prepared fully just to stand out in front of the gas station. I knew that we was legal within our legal right to stand out in front of the gas station till like an owner of the property or owner's representative try to make an issue about it. But Lashadian actually opened the door with his rifle, and that's the image that I kind of posted, and that's the image in the article too. Is when Lashadian opened the door, he put his back to the door with the weapon to his chest, and he was talking to the store clerk, and he brought the issue to the store clerk. Was like, hey, if y'all don't treat y'all customers with a certain level of respect, you know what I'm saying? If y'all don't treat y'all customers right, we gonna have y'all shut down. You know what I'm saying? Because in reference, we go to a lot of businesses, being black folks in our communities, but folks don't necessarily look like us in the community, and they be handle us basically just any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all know that, like particularly like with the females that go to like the Korean nail shops or the places where you can buy hair, all that type of stuff. You always feel like somebody's mistreating you. So it's like one of those particular situations where where you kind of feel like, hey, somebody mistreated me. So basically, what sort of happened was there had an incident that occurred at the store the night before, and the store clerk pulled a gun on him. You know what I'm saying? And so, if you know anything about fairness and treatment, the last thing you should be doing as a store owner, clerk, or any type of business is pulling guns on your customers. You know what I'm saying? That's just not the way you're supposed to treat them. You know what I'm saying? Supposed to have some respect, and they supposed to feel respected. So yeah, they had a gun pulled on them, which basically didn't feel right. And of course, with them kind of being affiliated with us as far as the movement is concerned, they of course was like, man, we're gonna do something about this immediately. So what I'm saying? To make the long story short, like I said, Shutdown pulled up at the he opened the door of the gas station, and I kind of stood with him, and that's the image that's kind of been picked. And basically what happens is we telling the customers to come out, you know what I'm saying? And so all the customers of the store with me holding the shotgun, the Shutdown holding the rifle at the front of the store, the customers, they all come out. You know what I'm saying? Every last one of them come out. The store clerk, he then go hides in the back of the store. You know what I'm saying? He goes hide in the back. He go ahead and locks himself in the back. When he in the back, he called the police. You know what I'm saying? So we there in front of the gas station. Um, basically, the clerk just went to the back. All the customers come out. The whole point of the whole situation was we wanted to make sure that as black folks in the community, or as anybody in the community, we want to be treated fairly, you know what I'm saying, with some respect. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they should be dealing with us, especially if we're gonna be, spending money. So I challenge anybody that's in this sort of kind of situation that if you spending money at a particular place, a particular business, they're not treating your community with respect, then hey, boycott that store. Same thing with Highmark in Highland Hills. Like we did the same thing with Highmark. Basically, was challenging folks or taxing folks for extra money for things that they shouldn't necessarily tax them for. You know what I'm saying? On certain items, that's state law. Check your state law and just make sure, kind of see where those things are at. You know what I'm saying? So that you can make sure in your community, wherever you at in the country or wherever, you know what I'm saying, the child not being taxed. Well, it's certain taxable things that they shouldn't do it for. We did that at Highmark, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, even though that wasn't the reason that we went to this gas station at Oak Cliff, you know what I'm saying, East Oak Cliff on you know what I'm saying, on Illinois, and I think I said Overton. Um, you know what I'm saying? That was part of it too, you know what I'm saying? So back to Lashadian. So Lashadian, you know what I'm saying, this talking, the clerk then ran to the back. All of a sudden, we see one police car pull up. You know what I'm saying? So that police car, he pulls about 100 feet from us. You know what I'm saying? He didn't pull all the way up. So he pulled about 100. Then we saw another police car, you know what I'm saying, pull up. You know what I'm saying? They did the same thing. This time, these policemen, they opened their doors and used their doors as shields. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what happened there. And then ultimately what happened at the end of the day was about, I would say, about 25, 30 police cars that came up, you know what I'm saying, that came up on us, you know what I'm saying? And then one of the officers came up and kind of started talking or whatever. And the officer could not ever get any contact with the store clerk, you know what I'm saying? Because the store clerk basically stayed in the back. So part of the story that's mentioned in the written article in CBS, they talk about after a certain point they made us leave. They never made us leave because there was no one within the store or represented the owner that ever really physically talked to the police. Only time that any type of interaction with the police came is when they was trying to figure out what we was about, and we basically was just playing, hey, you know what I'm saying, we shutting this store down and try to make an example of them actually respecting the community, you know what I'm saying? And so that's basically what it was about, you know what I'm saying? And so we actually had kind of like a mini standoff between us and about 25 police cars, and you can imagine each car probably has a partner in it, So it was anywhere between 30 and 40 policemen that was there. So I'm thinking they done called the whole subdivision. You know what I'm saying? And so they was kind of moving into tactical positions or whatnot. And we were just standing there and we were just talking amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? And the whole like everybody that was in the community at the time, they basically was like a certain feet away and they pulled out their camera phones and they were just kind of recording what was happening. So imagine five of us standing with shotguns and rifles, and about 40 policemen. They all armed. Some of them in tactical positions. Some of them ultimately have their weapons pointed towards us, and we just sitting up here, basically stop the flow of business because nobody came because all the police was there, and the police was there because we was there. So it was nobody in the gas station pumps. It was nobody uh, walking in and out the store. It was nobody that was even remotely in the next store, that's the next joint store. They were just basically totally empty. You can imagine for about anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes. Then me and Lashadion, we basically talked amongst ourselves and said, we kind of proved our point, and we got out and we did basically shut down the store, and it's about 35, 40 policemen. And basically you just think about this. It was potentially a lot of other things that could have been going on at the time, other really worse situation than what we dangers than what we potentially provided. You know what I'm saying? That drew from. So we went ahead and basically just said we're gonna break our formation down and we're gonna head back to our vehicles. Again, nobody told us to leave because the clerk he hid in the store the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So um imagine all these police cars and we just walk right through them. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that image if you was recording that, because if you was an outsider, if you was outside and you saw that happen, you would have thought yourself that we was gonna be arrested. You know what I'm saying? It was no way that you thought that we was gonna walk away with that. And it's so many times, so many situations where people oftentimes get shot by the police. Oftentimes people be in these situations with the police. You know what I'm saying? So from the outside looking in, people, people were shocked that we had weapons, we shut down the store, and that the fact that we walked away, you know what I'm saying, without any consequence and no arrest, you know what I'm saying, whatsoever, shape or form. And then as you find out later, um, the city, they had a city attorney that kind of examined every aspect to the situation, to try to see if it was something that some type of criminal activity that happened. And it's actually mentioned in the story. I put in the link. Nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to that story happened. You know what I'm saying? We didn't break the law whatsoever, and they were just totally flabbergasted by that situation. And as far as locally, that was kind of mentioned a little bit. But anyway, I just basically wanted to talk about that. But after we got through, what I'm saying, essentially, we kind of went back to Daryl house for a second because he didn't stay too far. He stayed like 3 to 4 minutes away. Went to Daryl house and kind of debriefed on the situation. You know what I'm saying? And really just be glad that, hey, this is something else that I did, some other like quote unquote revolutionary shit I did that I actually, what I'm saying, was able to do successfully. Like, keep in mind, so it's just like if you got the will to do something, do it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like the fact that all of us came together in that particular situation. Yeah, it was risky as hell, you know what I'm saying, because we could have been in a situation, or we could have gotten a situation with the police. But you know what I'm saying, we took the risk based upon the principle. And that's the part for all my tactical guys that may see this at some point. You know what I'm saying? I just want to, let you know we pretty much made that particular situation move off of principle. And it was simply because we wanted to just make an example to the business, to let them know that, hey, you are touchable. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, the person that pulled the gun, you know what I'm saying, ultimately got terminated that day. You know what I'm saying? After we came up there, not before. After we came up there and made the issue, they got terminated that day because that store really didn't want the issue. Because of me, I was already talking about considering going back. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go back, but it was really kind of a situation where the store kind of did certain measures because we did certain measures. You know what I'm saying? and that was kind of the end of it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I think as organized in the community, you got to stay proactive. You got to stay. You got to be direct. You know what I'm saying? As best you can. And sometimes you got to make strategic moves where you kind of got to move under the radar, and at certain times you got to strike. You know what I'm saying? And so this is one particular time where we decided to make like a more sort of a public move. We didn't do no interviews or anything like that nature with the media. We didn't talk to nobody about the situation. We just basically did this particular situation, made an example as far as like the businesses and how they treat black folks. And again, I know they do this every day and they do it all around the country, and they're not gonna stop until we're able to stand up for ourselves for and also be able to supply some of these things that we spend on to our own. So but I just wanted to talk about, with this particular story time, I just basically want to talk about, shutting down the gas station. You know what I'm saying? How we all came together. And I think mainly, I think Lashadion was really the energy that behind that. And I just kind of fell into his energy at that time and just kind of played my role. And the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? And Lashadion eventually, like I said, he did what he did in McKinney, you know what I'm saying? And folks did what we did at GMF and other groups, you know what I'm saying? So this basically has been a story time situation, you know what I'm saying? I just kind of want to talk about it and kind of, bring it up, so that folks can remember, you know what I'm saying? That to me, that was one of the important moves that I was a part of, you know what I'm saying? Because it was not necessarily a protest per se. It wasn't like a demonstration per se in that sense. It was kind of treated somewhat differently because of the intensity, in all the energy that it brought to the police. This is not anything that we planned. This is not anything that it kind of just flowed based off, energies, you know what I'm saying, based upon all of us coming together. Even with Kamal, you know what I'm saying? He played his role. Even Lee and Dominic Alexander, even though we didn't see Dominic on that part of it, he played his role too because he actually showed up at the park at Glendale Park. You know what I'm saying? Which at the end of the day, that's cool too. Everybody play their role. So whatever group that you're a part of, you know what I'm saying, just play your role. You don't have to try to be the big person. You're gonna have to try to do any more than what you need to or what you're responsible to. Just play your role. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically the point. This has been story time. Again, I'll be back one more time again. Uh, when they think it ain't another one, we're gonna be back with it. Talking about story time, talking about what happened, the history, whatnot that gotta be told. Yafeuh Balogun over and out.